saw you wandering around. Good afternoon and welcome. We thank you for joining us today for our announcement of the launch of the public phase of UTEP's fundraising campaign, which we've named at the forefront, the Centennial Campaign for UTEP. As most of you know, UTEP will celebrate its 100th birthday in 2014. And although I haven't done extensive research, I suspect that there's not a university anywhere that has reached this major milestone in its history without conducting a fundraising campaign in conjunction with it. UTEP is pleased to be a part of that proud tradition. I'm going to begin by introducing the special guests whose participation in our announcement today attests to their strong support for our campaign. First, Chairman of the University of Texas System Board of Regents, Colleen McHugh. Chancellor of the University of Texas System, Dr. Francisco Cigarroa. Chair of the UTEP Centennial Campaign Leadership Council, Russ Vandenberg. And Chair of the UTEP Development Board, Tripper Goodman. Also showing their support by their presence here today are many members of UTEP's administrative team, faculty, student, and staff leaders, and stakeholders who serve on the Centennial Campaign Leadership Council and on UTEP's Development Board. And all of the members who were able to be here today from the Centennial Campaign Leadership Council and the Development Board are seated here behind me. And I want to recognize all of the wonderful partnerships that we have established with these great folks. Thank you all for being here. We're very, very pleased that all of you have come to share this important UTEP milestone with us. We thank you for joining us, and especially we thank all of you UTEP team members for everything you do for our students. I'd also like to take a moment here to recognize Woody Hunt, former Vice Chairman of the UT System Board of Regents and El Paso Civic Leader. All of us at UTEP are extremely grateful to Woody and the Hunt Family Foundation for their sustained support of UTEP's capacity building to serve as a catalyst for this region's economic development. Thank you, Woody, again. And now the announcement. The University of Texas at El Paso proudly announces today the beginning of the public phase of the most momentous fundraising initiative in our nearly 100-year history. At the forefront, the Centennial Campaign for UTEP is a comprehensive fundraising effort which began quietly in 2007 and which has already attracted more than $100 million in gifts to build academic, research, and student support endowments, to expand campus infrastructure, and to enhance academic and athletic program excellence across this campus. 2 decades ago, all of us at UTEP found ourselves at a major decision point in our institutional development. We could either continue to try to pursue the profile of universities in more affluent settings, or we could follow a far less traveled route, creating our own model of a 21st century research university built on a fundamental commitment to creating access for the majority first-generation Hispanic students who come to us with their talents, dreams, and aspirations. Although this was clearly not the easier pathway for us, our decision to develop UTEP's own research university model has brought us to the eve of our 100th birthday as the only doctoral research university in the United States with a majority Mexican-American student population and one of the nation's top producers of Hispanic engineers, scientists, educators, artists, and health, communications, and business professionals. Exciting evidence of our success is UTEP's recent ranking by Hispanic Business Magazine as the #1 graduate program for Hispanics in the United States. The choice that we made 20 years ago was based on our firm conviction that the students UTEP serves have every right to expect the same quality educational experiences as those offered to their peers in more affluent settings. And so the research university model we've developed is designed for and with them, not in spite of them. By taking calculated risks and daring to be different and successfully challenging the traditional assumption that there must be a trade-off between access and excellence in higher education, UTEP is now serving as a model for many other universities in the United States and across the globe. And as we have successfully built excellence in research and graduate education at UTEP, we have also been able to leverage those assets to achieve our goal of providing enhanced educational experiences to our undergraduate student population, most of whom come from this region, grew up speaking Spanish at home, and are the first in their families to enroll in higher education. We have not only found a way to achieve both access and excellence goals, we figured out how to leverage their synergies. Today, we are standing at another critical crossroads in our history. UTEP is boldly seeking to take its place in the National Research University arena so that our students, our alumni, and the Paso del Norte region can confidently take their places in the 21st century global economy. With highly successful execution of our ambitious strategic plan over the past 20 years and the major capacity building investments in UTEP by the University of Texas system, the Texas legislature, and our generous donors, we are well positioned to join the top tier of higher education institutions. Like all grand visions, UTEP's ambitious National Research University goal and the future social and economic development of this region cannot be accomplished as a solo performance by UTEP working alone. It will require the collaboration and full support of all UTEP alumni and friends and everyone else for whom economic development and quality of life of this Paso del Norte region is a priority. Almost 100 years ago, in 1914, a community of 49,000 El Pasoans were determined, despite a world war in Europe and a revolution next door in Mexico, to create a bright future for their hometown. They raised $50,000, a very large sum at that time, to establish the Texas State School of Mines and Metallurgy, now the University of Texas at El Paso. Today, nearly 100 years later, and in the midst of a global economic downturn, this same and now much larger community, together with UTEP alumni and friends across the world, and students, faculty, and staff on the campus, has, during the past 3 years of quiet fundraising activity, already successfully raised $100 million of our Centennial Campaign's $200 million goal. That's great. Not surprisingly, this highly successful quiet phase of UTEP's Centennial Campaign was also a team effort. And the leader of that team has been Russ Vandenberg, proud UTEP alumnus, El Paso business leader, and good friend. In addition to dedicating huge amounts of his time and goodwill to the Leadership Council, Russ set high expectations for personal participation when, together with his wife Marty, he made his own $3 million commitment to our Centennial Campaign. I am very honored and pleased to welcome Russ Vandenberg to the podium. Russ?
Thank you. What a great day to be in El Paso, isn't it? Huh? Great day to be in El Paso. And it's a great time to be a Miner. I guarantee you that. Boy, I'm all fired up here, and I'm just so pleased about what's happening, and this is just wonderful. And Dr. Natalicio, thank you so much for that introduction, and I really appreciate it. You know, if it hadn't been for the opportunity for this university provided me to as a student athlete, my life would have surely been very different. Almost certainly would not have been in this room about to tell each and every resident of the Paso del Norte region how they can become important partners in enhancing our shared future. Each of us can join this partnership by supporting the institution that has been and will continue to be the region's most single, powerful catalyst for economic development, social advancement, and a rich quality of life. That institution is UTEP, and UTEP is at the forefront. Dr. Natalicio mentioned that at the forefront, the Centennial Campaign for UTEP is a comprehensive campaign. This means we are engaged in securing support for 3 broad areas identified as most critical to the university's goal of building Tier 1 level of excellence, while also ensuring access to our traditionally underserved student population. In the broadest terms, UTEP's mission will be best supported by building endowments, expanding pragmatic support, and enhancing campus facilities. Now, you've already seen some of the outcomes of these efforts. Just look around UTEP at such beautiful facilities as the Larry K. Durham and Foster Stevens Centers, funded entirely by generous donors. But perhaps most important in recognizing that investments in all 3 of these areas, endowment, program, and facilities, can be leveraged to achieve excellence across the campus to secure external research funding, to recruit outstanding faculty and graduate students, to attract El Paso's most talented high school graduates, to innovate and commercialize work done in our research laboratories, and to contribute to the region's economic development. A broad range of opportunities for your participation will be brought to the community's attention at the public phase of the campaign as it gathers momentum. For now, though, the most important thing I hope to convey is that meaningful areas of support are available to every single partner in UTEP's future, however substantial or modest your capacity to give. Your gift or bequest of general financial support helps build UTEP's capacity to make strategic investments when opportunities arise, offering flexibility to support all of the funding targets that will take us to the very top. Sports fans can give on all levels, either to athletics or to a specific sport. If you like softball, tell Bob Stahl that you like softball and you want to donate to softball. And by the way, buy your tickets, and especially buy them this Saturday, because we're going to beat the Aggies. If you have a specific academic, scientific, or social interest, then endow research or doctoral programs in that field. If you're interested in helping UTEP students prepare for medical, dental, and veterinary professions, or for law school, there are special institutes at UTEP that do just that. Those with a passion for the arts and humanities can donate to the music department, the Oral History Institute, the library, the Rubin Center for Visual Arts, creative writing program, the dinner theater, the Centennial Museum, or any of the many other programs in the College of Liberal Arts. And you can always support them by your participation in their many events and activities held throughout the year. The list is endless, but however you decide to participate, it's important to know that every gift is significant. And the way you target yours will enhance its significance to you, to the university, and to our wonderful community. So as chair of the Campaign Leadership Council, I ask UTEP alum everywhere and my friends and neighbors of the Paso del Norte region to be both generous and strategic in their philanthropy. Give generously to UTEP based upon your understanding of the university's potential to play a major role in U.S. higher education and research in the 21st century and in the future of the region. UTEP is El Paso's university, your university, and its future success is in your hands too. Thank you. Now, I have the great honor, and I really mean this, and I told the Chancellor this right before we sat down. I met a few chancellors of the UT systems in the past, but I really like this guy. He's a great friend of El Paso, and he's a wonderful person. I'd like to invite Chancellor Francisco Cigarro to the podium.
Well, thank you very much for those inspiring words. And it's so wonderful to be here again at the University of Texas at El Paso, and to have an opportunity again to see the wonderful faculty and the staff that make this university so wonderful, and how important the Centennial Campaign will be to make sure that we have the resources to not only attract, but to retain our very finest faculty and staff for the sole purpose of benefiting generations of students to come. And in fact, many of you will be the future leaders of UTEP as well, because not too long ago, President Natalicio was a fantastic professor of linguistics over here. He has been such an important mentor to so many students, so many faculty, so many staff at this great university, and in fact, has also been a mentor to me. And that's how wonderful the University of Texas at El Paso is. President Natalicio noted that University of Texas at El Paso is ready to take its place at the top tier of U.S. higher education, so that this region, this community, and its highly talented citizens can take theirs. I offer my sincerest congratulations to Dr. Natalicio, to the wonderful students, faculty, and staff of this incredible university, and to the university's highly committed stakeholders in the El Paso community, because none of this could happen without your tremendous engagement. As Chancellor of the University of Texas System, I have the opportunity to serve as a Chief Executive Officer of what I believe is an outstanding institution of higher education, who is led by a visionary board, represented today by our Chairman of the Board, Colleen McHugh. The system is proud to be charged with the responsibility for preparing the students of Texas today for the world of tomorrow. And we're so proud of our 15 institutions. The University of Texas at El Paso is clearly an institution that understands and lives its mission. The goal is to achieve excellence with a continuation to enhance access. And I can't help but always reflect upon the powerful words that President Natalicio has stated, and it's resonated really deep in my heart. And that's the opportunity for the University of Texas at El Paso to be a national research university with a 21st century demographic, something that requires our complete commitment. And I know that you have that. Now, Russ Vandenberg was correct when he said that the University of Texas at El Paso will be a major factor in creating the bright future to which this Paso del Norte region has every right to aspire. And it'll do that by inspiring our next generation of students for critical thinking, for service to their community, and for the creation of new knowledge that benefits humanity. That's a role that major research universities play in any region of our country, like this across the world. With your support, UTEP will foster this bright future, which means that this future is in your hands as well. In fact, it is a collective responsibility. Now, philanthropy is so critical to the success of every institution across the University of Texas system. As I stated, it is a shared responsibility, not only from our legislative leadership, not only from a great leadership such as exists at University of Texas El Paso, but also the great leadership of our community, who are mentors as well. So the El Pasoans who decided nearly 100 years ago to raise money to establish the institution that is today the University of Texas at El Paso had been challenged by the UT System Board of Regents to show their commitment 100 years ago to the mining school they sought to establish by raising $50,000, which they did within a few weeks. Well, today, all of you have a similar opportunity to shape what University of Texas El Paso will become during its second 100 years. I do say it'll require a little bit more than $50,000. But imagine, during the silent phase, you have already raised $100 million. A remarkable feat by any measurement. And I can certainly see really that great horizon just around the corner. The University of Texas El Paso has already been building research, faculty and program development, partnerships with business and public sectors, athletic enhancements in every other dimension of its mission, just like the top-tier universities whose ranks it has its aspirations to join. UTEP's Volunteer Centennial Campaign Leadership Council has already participated in raising the $100 million that I just stated, half the campaign goal, in an especially challenging economic environment. And I just want to give you another tremendous applause. As Chancellor, I embrace all these incredible achievements and wholeheartedly support your collective efforts to ensure University of Texas El Paso's continued progress. I have complete confidence in UTEP, in her leadership, in the ability of UTEP Paso del Norte Partnership for a vibrant and a very prosperous future, and I challenge you to exceed $200 million goal. So we are very privileged to have with us today the chairman of the University of Texas System Board of Regents, Colleen McHugh, to whom I'm honored to yield the podium to. Thank you, Colleen, for being here.
I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas. And when we arrived here today, one of the first things I heard was an apology for the humidity. And I'd just like to thank you for the lack of humidity here in El Paso. It's a beautiful day. It's so refreshing to see these beautiful desert plants. I remember the first time I came to El Paso, Diana told me about the beauty of the sage and the smell that it exudes after it rains. And I understand yesterday you had an opportunity to smell lots of sage right over this university. It's a beautiful place. I've had the opportunity to be here twice before today. The other time I came was for a graduation ceremony. And I said to a group of others earlier, one of my favorite pictures, and I assure you when you're on the Board of Regents, there are a lot of pictures that get taken. And one of my favorite photographs is a picture of me at your graduation ceremony. You can just see the excitement and pleasure on my face. It was the day before Mother's Day. And to see these wonderful mothers in the audience, many of whom for the first time saw a child graduate. I'd like to offer, as I begin my remarks, a special thanks to all of the parents who contribute to this university in so many ways. I know some will contribute financially, some larger than others, but the gift that you give all of us in Texas are the wonderful students you graduate from UTEP. So with that, I want to thank you for joining us today. It is a pleasure to represent the University of Texas System Board of Regents as we support UTEP and at the forefront, the Centennial Campaign for UTEP. We applaud the campaign and invite students, alumni, friends of the campus, anyone who'd like to give, to continue their enthusiasm and support for the University of Texas at El Paso as it begins another 100 years of success. I pause again for a personal note and ask you to join me in applauding the best gift you have here, and that is Diana Natalicio. I think I can safely say that without her, none of this happens. And she has been a mentor to many, and I think I can speak for me and 2 other regents from the El Paso region to say that she's been a wonderful advisor and mentor about the quality of education to both Regents Hunt and Foster, whom you'll see a little bit later today. All of the stakeholders that I've had the opportunity to meet today have certainly participated in the great success of this region's future, not just the university, but this whole area of our state. Every year there are more stakeholders eager to contribute to the success of the campus and, of course, energized through the foresight and gifts of Diana Natalicio. UTEP's achievements under her leadership are numerous and can be measured in many ways. Recently, my fellow regents and I had the privilege of presenting 9 UTEP faculty members' Regents Outstanding Teaching Awards in recognition of extraordinary teaching and innovation at the undergraduate level. It was exciting to hear the stories and accomplishments of these faculty members, and I think they reflect the commitment to excellence that is so typical of this university. I congratulate UTEP and its supporters on UTEP's progress toward becoming a national research university. This is such an exciting time for El Paso. We look forward to preparing for and celebrating UTEP's centennial with you as 2014 approaches. And I, like the Chancellor, look forward to seeing you exceed the $200 million goal of At the Forefront, the Centennial Campaign for UTEP. Thank you for everything you do for the state, this nation, and the wonderful graduates you send out into the world.
Thank you very much, Chairman McHugh, for being with us today, Chancellor Cigarroa again, and thanks to all of you for participating. We especially thank the members of the Development Board and the Campaign Leadership Council for everything that you have done, that first 100 million, and everything you will do, that's the second 100 million, just to be clear. And I would like to emphasize that everything that has been accomplished on this campus is the result of the collective efforts of everyone on this side of the podium and everyone here. It's a partnership, and it'll only succeed if it continues to flourish. And so I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of this exciting university, and we are delighted that you've joined us for our special celebration today. We'll now offer an opportunity to the media who have come to ask any questions. And if they don't have questions, anybody else who wants to ask a question can ask them. Well, it certainly took a lot of effort and the effort of a number of very dedicated people. We, of course, have people on the campus